Now Brieze will jump off and get on a bus that goes up to Ballenberg, which is one of those magnificent museums, outdoor museums, created out of structures, machines, buildings from all over Switzerland. As you can probably guess, I'm at Ballenberg West. And it's all of this that we're looking at. Here's the visitor center we'll start at. And then it just ranges road after road that they've created in the wilderness, if you will, by moving all these structures into. I'm going to take a closer look at the gingerbread detail. Notice on the corners, almost any place they could think of. Some of it very fine detail, some of it very large detail. The fine, like on the bottom here, we'll take a closer look. That may even be metal and formed rather than actually carved, I don't know. As with this, looks like metal formed work. Looking in through the mudroom into the central hallway. You can imagine how it was in the day. Oh, a ceramic heat stove. That must have been the epitome. In this pretty sitting room office. Yeah, it's got that kind of dome top to it. I wonder what that niche was particularly for. Ah, the day of elegance. I wonder if they use these dining rooms as sporadically as some of my friends do. We're up on the second floor and up to the third. The second floor appears to be just a halfway floor. Just one room. Costumes of the day. It's the double dooring. That's a cute way to show off costumes. Harmonicas. But look at that blaster right there. Remember, I used to have one a long time ago. Not yet at the top, so it's a pretty lofty building. Tools of some trade. Wine making, something, I don't know what it is. Handmade banjo. These instruments that are made now. And the cowbell's still used today. And most ritually, apparently. Now we're into the attic. Probably used, as you see in the movies, for storage. Here it's finished off nicely, but it might not have been always that way. Look at this sawn out detail on the inside. These banisters made out of, well, metal. Now we're on the second floor of this very pretty barn-like structure, I might add. Painted out. Very Swiss. One wonders what this was. Maybe a cupboard. Was this room used for maybe the lunches of people who worked here? It would have been for feeding, but which way the feeding went, I don't know. It was a beautiful house in its classic design. Magnificent today if you owned one. Interesting, this has two sections. One might have been used for people for getting water as well as for washing or something. And And maybe this one for cows. But the washing wouldn't make sense because that would put all of the filth right where the cows are going to drink. Not that they'd notice. Don't know if this building is original, but now it appears that it's a restaurant. I think that we're here. This was originally a farmhouse, but apparently it's been serving guests since 1837 as a restaurant. So it had a double function, I guess. Farmhouse. Notice how they've ramped up to make it easy to fill the loft with hay. That one dark feather, or wattle perhaps it is. Massive barns, it seems to me. Let's see if we can roam around a bit. Apparently we can. Notice how the timbers are held together with wooden pins. Not the first time I've seen it. I always wonder what little things are like that. Wood cropping board and those forked sticks at the top. But notice there's also detail along that heavy member working as a windowsill. Wow. Huh. I always get a kick out of looking at old wagons and so forth, trying to imagine humans who worked these for decades. Fire in there that'll just about suffocate you. Not to mention how dangerous it is for an all-wood, old, dried-out building. Here you've got some help working this pump. Oh, he is enjoying that exercise, isn't he? It's got a basement, but notice how well this is done. Just not utilitarian, it's done for beauty's sake also. Here's a building I'd love to have for a home. Interesting little implement. Looks like kind of like a plow and a sod cutter at the same time. We're looking at the basement where I would store my, well, soda water in my instance, but here wine barrels. Now this log is cut purposely for this corner. How Swiss. Where grain was stored. You wonder how they avoided the problem of mice, etc. And you just wonder what that device over there is. This one for cutting sheaves, you can see that, but it looks to use, at least for this example, a wooden cutter or blade. A butter churn of some sort. Apparently as part of the lock mechanism. Sleigh out back here. Interesting device. Notice those three-prong dealies apparently swing or rotate. I wonder if it was for moving hay, picking it up and putting it in rows, or turning it over if it was wet so it could dry out more quickly. Pretty flower in the midst of all. And a pretty little structure over this garden. They've tried to make everything realistic by planting gardens and fields and this is planted purposely in a garden. I wonder what food it provides before American counties spray it as a weed. Various food processing and grinding implements. This is interesting when you think of all of the millstones and strategies I've seen, including the one in India for grinding. This is where the chemistry occurred, the mixing of whatever all this stuff is. I don't know what a drogue means. It could be a pharmacy for all I know. In fact, I think it maybe there was a sign that referred to pharmacy. A soda, I wonder if that means soda. I wonder how much of this was a mix of ecstasy and home remedies. Top of that is stone. Why that under part there, I don't know, unless it was a stove also. We're inside of an old drugstore now. Seems to mock the pharmacies we have now, in which it seems that the people who get paid the high salaries just literally push pills around. Take them out of a bottle, stick them in a different bottle. Notice the lion's foot desk, simple desk otherwise. Still in the pharmacy, but here large containers and large vehicles for perhaps mixing large quantities of whatever. Makes me wonder, as I have often, what do our pharmacists really do? How much do they really know? Here in the garage of this drugstore are even bigger containers. Notice the oval shape rather than round. It's possible that this garden would have been associated with such a pharmacy and may have been where many of the special herbs, etc., were raised. Now this interpretive sign suggests this is a medicinal garden, but the important thing is it gives us some sense of how the infrastructure worked, how expansive it was, how it integrated itself to achieve what it achieves. Whereas we have almost no idea where the roots of our medicines come from. Lift these containers up and smell the smell of whatever flower that container is associated with. It's clever, particularly for little kids.